right, there's the next episode of True Wrestling Fan Discussions. Today's episode is going to be our top 10 Hulk Hogan match list. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank, and I promise we're not bashing him in this one.
Mm.
We're actually praising him as fans. It's really hard with him to pick the matches to put in his top 10, and there's so many that get left out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
There's two matches I want to bring up that didn't make the top 10, but can be an honorable mention in this. The first being on February 18th, 1985, the war to settle the score, the Hulk Hogan Roddy Piper match, which was it was a great match.
It was huge. This was huge at the time.
Oh yeah,
and it was a great rivalry.
Man, it didn't matter if it was there, WCW. The only one we didn't need was 2003, but I'm not getting into that. The other honorable mention, and it was really hard for me not to put this in the top 10 because as a childhood fan of both of these guys back then, this was a match I really, in my eyes, I never thought I would see. And that was on April 21st, 2002 at Backlash. Mm-hmm. Triple H defending the title against Hulk Hogan. Now, mind you, we just got the Rock Hogan match that we thought we'd never see. And then they signed this match, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, for the title.
My two favorite, and yes, I was a Hulkamaniac, so was everybody.
We all were.
And I got a lot of crap for liking Triple H back then.
Still do.
I know, I still do. But nobody's knocking him now that he's killing the storylines. Yeah. But that was a great match to me. Despite the fact of the Jericho Undertaker interferences, this was still a great match, and unfortunately didn't make the top 10. We can say number 11, but
it was cool to see Hogan get the belt one last time. That was cool. It was like Hogan came full circle, came back to WWF or WWE. Actually, no, this was for the WWF title. Becomes WWE right after.
The last one, yeah.
Right.
He's the last champion.
Right. Unfortunately, Hogan's a lot older at that time, so physically he wasn't the same, but it was still great to see.
I think everybody that year wanted to be that undisputed champion. So that's why the title kept changing a lot. I'm like, what are we, WCW here? It's like every month. But it was great to see these two guys wrestle for the title. And again, I loved it. So anyway, let's kick off the top 10. Number 10 on the list, and both of us have agreed on this list, so it's not okay. There's your list, there's my list. Right. This is a unified list here. The Hulk Hogan Survivor Series match, November 22nd, 1990. This is the not Hulk Hogan's Survivor Series matchup with against Earthquake's team. This is the main event, the Survivor, the grand finale. Hogan, Warrior, and Tito Santana versus Power and Glory, Rick Martel, Warlord, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. I really wish, and I've said this before, that every year going forward, I wish they would have done this.
Yeah.
This was really awesome, great idea.
It was incredible.
And it was a one and done.
It was a lot of fun. To see Hogan and Warrior on the same team.
Tito in the main event.
And Tito's there. And I loved having Tito there, too. He got his shine.
Tito takes out Warlord.
Right away. With the flying forearm.
It's awesome.
Yeah. A part of me would have loved to have seen just Hogan and Warrior just destroy everybody. But it was cool it was also cool having Tito in there too.
Yeah. And Tito telling Hogan and Warrior, I got this, and they're like, we ain't getting in there. Yeah. But yeah, it was and then remember DiBiase in the promo, he goes, these guys just fought each other. They hate each other. Right. We got this in the bag.
And they were outnumbered and they were outnumbered.
5-on-3, yeah. Yeah. It was a great match, a great idea that they had.
Oh yeah.
I just wish they would have done that going forward.
Yeah, it would have been fun,
unfortunately, they just thought, okay, 1990, we're done. Number 9 on the list, and this would have definitely been number 1, probably, or not number 1, but definitely in the top 5 had it gone to pay-per-view. This was Hulk Hogan versus Goldberg for the WCW title. July 6, 1998, on Monday Nitro.
On Monday Nitro, yeah. Well, look, we got
with 3 days' notice.
You know what? We got it for free. It's not good booking. It's not good long-term booking for WCW because they lost money. But as a fan, us not having to pay for this,
with it.
Right? And I didn't think
the only thing I didn't like about it. Well,
I know he had all the momentum in the world, but I thought that
Yeah, the NWO would
Hogan,
have done
NWO
something.
shenanigans. But remember
Well,
Goldberg
when
had
they
to
had
get
him
through.
fight Scott Hall
All right, he had
earlier,
to get through Scott Hall. That was great. This was great stuff. This was great. Great stuff.
and if you didn't watch the Thunder the week before, you would have never heard
Right.
J.J. Dillon say that on Nitro in
They got
three
announced from
days
in
that
Atlanta.
yeah, in Atlanta that at the
Yeah,
Georgia Dome
yeah,
where you
yeah.
could have put 100,000 at the pay
Mhm.
per view. No, let's do it on Nitro
Mhm.
because we want to. The Bischoff's about the ratings. Hogan's gonna face Goldberg, and when I heard that, I was like,
Yeah,
"Nah, y'all messing with him."
yeah. And Hogan did business. He drops the belt to Goldberg. He did business.
That shocked me.
Right. Yeah. No shock. So
It really did. But
yeah,
it was
and
typical that you got to face Scott Hall first.
right.
He's like,
No, but that was
okay, no problem.
But that was great storytelling. It's a shame they never had like they should have continued that feud on a pay-per-view like within a few months, you know? But they never did for whatever reason, who knows, but
Instead, Goldberg defends the title. I think in his first inaugural against Kurt Hennig. But I think that match was booked anyway for the pay per view. So then they just put it in for the
yeah.
title because I never understood that
Yeah.
until I found that out later. But they
Right.
should have changed it. They should have
Right.
been a rematch on
Oh
pay per
yeah.
view for the
Yeah, yeah,
title.
absolutely.
At number 8, January 23rd, 1984, where it all started. Iron Sheik, the placeholder, now that we know, thanks to the documentary. And I didn't want to believe that. I wanted to believe that, oh, Sheik actually could be champion. No.
No, it
Thanks, Vince. Iron Sheik defends the WWE title against Hulk Hogan.
hmm
And this is where Hulkamania
was born.
started with the championship. Yeah.
Hmm
Because Vince, and we found this out in the documentary like everybody else. And I mean, you kind of realize that, if you look at it, you go, yeah, because baby faces wouldn't fight each other.
Oh yeah.
Vince wanted the title to go from Backlund to Hogan, so he had to go roundabout. So
Yeah.
he gives it to Sheik. Sheik, and then Backlund never gets a rematch for it anyway. Backlund stuck around for another few months, and then he was gone. So we never got that because Backlund never liked Hogan anyway. His
No.
quote was, "He's not a real athlete."
Right, right.
So we never got that match, which is a shame because I would have really loved to see those two guys go at it with Hogan as the champion. But Hogan taking on Iron Sheik, breaking out of the Camel Clutch, which was no, I'm sorry, the Boston Crab was amazing. And Hulk Hogan wins the title. Andre the Giant throwing champagne
Hmm
on him. I loved it. It was great
It was
stuff.
tremendous. It was great stuff, yeah.
A three, just a no. Actually, I'll take that back. A little over 4 year, 1 month
Hmm
reign as
hmm
champion. So next on the list at number 7, April 2nd, 1989, and I really hated this because I was a Savage fan as
Yeah.
well. The Mega Powers exploded at
So yeah.
WrestleMania 5. Randy Savage defending the title against Hulk Hogan.
Great build
And,
up.
and Randy Savage's dream year comes to an end.
Yeah. But I mean
Damn.
it was great. It was just great storytelling. The lust in
Excellent
his eyes for
storytelling.
Elizabeth.
Still
Mega
has
powers
it.
explode. Yeah, great storytelling. And at the time, I was a Hulkamaniac. It's in retrospect that we look back and we're like, Macho Man kind of was.
Well, I
He
really
kind of
did
was.
like
He kind of
Savage.
was the good guy.
I thought, considering he's not one of the big guys,
Right, 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 right.
he held the belt
Hmm
well that year, despite the fact that you really he didn't defend it on pay per view because they didn't have the monthly
Right, they
ones.
didn't have the monthly ones. Yeah.
But I did get to see during the summer
Hmm
on the MSG channel, he defended the
Yeah.
title against Andre the Giant. I was like, "There's no way he's coming out of that." He came out of it in a disqualification fashion. But I mean, I did like Savage as well.
Yeah, he was
We
a
all
great champion.
are going to say we were Hogan
Of
fans
course,
more
I
than
was rooting
Savage.
for Hogan, of course. Yeah, but it was
But
great stuff. Great stuff.
yeah, Savage just couldn't pull it off. Hogan beats him for the title. He's once
Regaining
again
the belt.
champion. And even the storytelling against him feuding with Savage going forward into
Hmm
1990 was great. You bring in Sherry, you bring in Zeus. Their feud culminates on Saturday Night Main Event, unfortunately, with Buster Douglas and not Mike Tyson.
Macho King. Yeah.
He wins the crown. That was great. DiBiase buys him. Here you go. By the way, you kicked my ass, but here's a gift. You beat me for the belt, but here's a gift. So I still couldn't get those two being in the ring together right in my
Right,
head.
considering. Yeah.
Yeah. So at number six, and this was hard putting this at number six, but when you guys hear what number one through five is, you'll understand why. March 17th, 2002, WrestleMania 18. We never thought we'd ever see this match. Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus The Rock.
Yeah.
You talk about headlining WrestleMania after WrestleMania after WrSLMania. Well, how about main eventing one more with The Rock?
Yeah, the build up was tremendous.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah. No, this was the crowd was into it. This was a fantasy matchup we thought that we would never see.
This is Rock as a childhood fan looking up to him, going, "You deserted, your fans."
We believed in you.
Yeah,
it was just tremendous. And
wow.
And we got to give Hogan credit, and we got to give The Rock credit, because they didn't know that Hogan was going to get cheered like that, and they were able to pivot and have Hogan, basically be the babyface in that match, and The Rock, kind of started to play heel.
I really thought he was going to turn after the match, because the way The Rock was looking when Hogan was like, "Nah, I don't want to pose," or "I'm not going to pose," and he's looking at him, and he's at behind him. I really thought, like, is he going to turn on him?
Yeah.
And even the next night when they were booing The Rock, and he's trying to say,
well, they were still in Canada. They were still in Canada, yeah. But credit to them. They were able to pivot.
I know you and Dave lost your voice that night. I know I did.
We were there. Yeah, we were at your house.
Especially when he was hulking up.
Hulked up, yeah. Unfortunately, he loses. But
he did business.
Yeah.
He passed the torch.
Mm-hmm. Great stuff.
Like it really needed to be passed to the torch for The Rock at that point, but still.
But yeah, I know.
And allegedly he's supposed to be Austin that night. Not getting into that. Yeah. We got the perfect match. We got Rock Hogan, and they did not disappoint. Again, top 10 match, even though he lost, it still was great.
Still great, yeah.
And that's the night that the NWO died, and he brought back the next night. Eventually he brings back the red and yellow. At number 5, July 17th, 1994, Bash at the Beach. We finally get the match that eluded us in WWE for whatever reason. You can go by whatever
story you want to believe.
Exactly. This will go to everybody's grave. We will not know why they pivoted away at WrestleMania 8.
So those who don't know, the long-standing, not really rumor, but story is that the house shows weren't doing well. We don't believe that had anything to do with it. But when I say house shows, when I say house shows, we're referring to 92 into 93. Flair and Hogan. I'm sorry, no, 91 into 91 into 92.
One of them was on the MSG channel when they were at the Garden.
Right.
That roof blew off that night.
Yeah. Well, they were saying the ticket sales. I don't know. Either way, we finally got it in 94. Thank God.
Bull crap.
In WCW.
Yes, Hogan's very first match in WCW.
It's a title shot right away.
Yeah. And Bobby Heenan's over there. He comes in and he's the champ. Meanwhile, you got Shaquille O'Neal, you got Mr. T. I mean, this was one of the greatest matches of the beach they had.
It was like a record for pay-per-view sales for WCW.
Considering your main event, I mean, you got never before on pay-per-view.
Yep.
We'll get plenty of it going forward. But this match did not disappoint, and Hogan winning the WCW title on his first time out. It was good to see Flair doing business. I mean, he knew what it meant for the company for Hogan to come in. Yeah. Flair wasn't, that's not going to work for me, brother.
Yeah, he wasn't like that.
Oh, wait, I said we weren't going to bash Hogan. I'll take that back. I'm sorry. We're praising Hogan right now. Okay. Hogan became the WCW champion on this night and did not disappoint. Crowd went nuts. Bobby Heenan was crying, but that's okay. Bobby's crying. You did a good job. At number 4, and this was a really, really good match. It was December 14th, 1986. However, it aired on Saturday Night Main Event, January 3rd, 1987. Steel cage match, Hulk Hogan versus Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff. This was where they, the whole thing that Orndorff's in Hogan's shadow. Heenan's throwing stuff in his head, and he finally turns on Hogan. And you can debate, still to this day, who really won this match.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
Hogan wins the match, so I mean,
I'll give it to him. I mean, this is kind of like, who won?
Controversial ending.
Bret Hart or Lex Luger in the Rumble?
Because they jumped down the steel cage. They had climbed out, and
if this is how they wanted it to end, man, did they time that perfectly?
It was great. It was good stuff.
And the match didn't disappoint in the cage. The
No.
fans were on their feet during this, and the simultaneous drop. Yes, Hogan wins the title. Wins the title. Hogan wins that match to me,
Yeah.
hands down. And the rivalry was good. And again, it's a shame they didn't have monthly pay-per-views back then because this was
Oh yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely made it on that. Now, this match here, this feud makes two of the top three, which is pretty impressive, to say the least. And I can even actually give another honorable mention. With Hogan and Andre, the Shea Stadium match in
Yeah.
1980 was they tore, well,
Yeah.
no roof on Shea Stadium, but they
Well,
would have tore it off.
yeah. Well, that match never happened according to like the feud that happens after like WrestleMania 3, like those matches that never.
Never happened.
All right, but
Just
yeah,
like
that
Hogan
was
never slammed him either
yeah,
prior to
yeah, yeah,
WrestleMania 3.
yeah,
So
yeah.
no bashing, no bashing. Okay, this one, no, at number three is going to be the Saturday Night Main Event one,
For the main,
February 5th, 1988.
yeah, it
Or the
was
main
actually the
event,
main event. It
excuse
was
me,
the main
main
event.
event. Remember, they had the contract signing at the inaugural Royal Rumble. This match was great,
The WrestleMania 3
even though
rematch.
Hogan came on the short end of the stick here. It was great how they pulled this off. The double referees with the
The
Hefner
twins,
twins.
yeah. Million Dollar
Uh,
Man.
20 seconds, Andre's champion. He gives it to Million Dollar Man Teddy DiBiase, who, in fact, I believe it was you that said on one of the episodes that he actually appeared on, was it a house show or a
House
Superstars
show,
with the
yeah, it was a
belt.
house show. Yeah, it was a house show. He defended the title, yeah.
See, there you go. He's champion.
Yeah, before they stripped him.
We're signing the petition.
Yeah.
Rude is World Heavyweight Champion. DiBiase is
Yeah.
WWF
Well,
Champion. I'm sorry. He wore it. He wore it great, by the way.
yeah.
But that match was great with the whole storytelling. It finally WrestleMania.
Andre wins the title, gives it to Million Dollar Man because he bought it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then it
and
leads into
then
WrestleMania 4.
yeah, they strip him of it. Unfortunately, he gets to the main event. DiBiase, WrestleMania 4. Andre's job was to keep Hogan out of it.
hmm
And the whole time I'm on, and if I'm Andre, I'm like, wait a minute. I just did all the hard work. I'm the champion, and you want this belt? Hell no. I really think Andre should have ran with it, but
I mean,
storyline wise, it made sense
yeah.
why he did it.
hmm
But I really would have liked to see Andre with a little
Oh
run
yeah,
with
yeah.
it. But the match didn't disappoint. Again, Hogan got the loss in this, but in our eyes, it kind of it moved him up, it beefed him up for the feud against Andre going into
hmm
WrestleMania 4. At number two and number one, this was really hard to
This is it could go it could really go
go
either
either
way.
way.
Could
And you
go
guys
either
in the
way.
comment section will probably say, no, I think number two should be number one
Yeah.
and vice versa. And if that's the case,
Yeah.
go ahead and comment and let us know this. At number two, April 1st, 1990, WrestleMania 6, title for title. Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. Oh my God. I still to this day can watch this match over and over
Yeah, yeah.
again.
This is the Intercontinental Champion versus the WWF Champion. Babyface versus babyface. Incredible build up.
67,000
At the time I was torn because I was a Warrior fan, but I was a Hulkamaniac first, and then I became a Ultimate Warrior fan. So I was torn. I really didn't know who to go for, you know.
Nobody did.
And it was just back and forth. Great storytelling, and the rest is history. Warrior prevails, passing the torch to the Ultimate Warrior. However brief it was, but
Should have clocked him with the belt and
yeah,
went heel, but never mind.
However brief it was, but it was a
Yeah,
tremendous match. Yeah.
Yes, it was. I mean, these guys just did everything they could. I remember, look, the Warrior, he's running. That's going to be a mistake at the end, Jesse. I mean, Jesse got it right. Sidewise, it was 50-50.
Yeah, yeah,
You couldn't hear a thing when they're coming down.
hmm
It was unbelievable. And I remember watching the Royal Rumble, and I believe I was watching it with my cousin, and I told when the two of them locked up in the Rumble, I was like, it would be cool if at WrestleMania they do something like that, but it was unheard of.
Right, no, we never
Who would
thought
have
it would
thought
happen.
that's the direction they were going in, and it was the perfect direction to
The
go
ultimate
into.
challenge, yeah.
Yep. And it's a shame that there was no rematch in WWE because the shit one we get
Oh,
later on
oh Lord Jesus.
was just god awful. But this was a very good match. Again, Hogan on the losing end. It doesn't matter. This was a great match, and again, a lot of people may say that this could be number one.
Yeah, I mean, it's I part of me, this is probably my favorite match between this is definitely my favorite Warrior match. It might actually be my favorite Hogan match. The only reason number one is because of, and we're gonna get into it right now, just the
The build
timing of
up,
when it happened, the build up and everything.
and that number one match is March 29th, 1987, WrestleMania
Yeah,
3,
yep.
Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
Pontiac Silverdome, right? It was the Pontiac
Yep,
Silverdome, 90 something thousand.
93,000. I
Yeah.
don't care what
Allegedly.
anybody says.
We'll go with 90 something
Yeah, well,
thousand.
I'm going with it.
Yeah.
It's 1987. This is
Yeah.
2024. End it.
But
That's
just
what they said it was.
yeah.
It is.
But just the build up, Hogan and Andre had been friends for years. They don't ever reference the stuff early on when Hogan was a heel. Like you had mentioned the Shea Stadium. That's
Yeah,
never referenced. The whole thing with that trophy that they
that was
gave to
great.
Andre, and he was upset. The Piper's Pit,
He
that
leaves, he
whole
comes
deal,
back, but this time
ripping
he
the
comes back like
cross.
Heenan.
Oh man, ripping the cross. Do
Look
you
at me
accept
when
this
I'm talking to
challenge? Yeah,
you.
yeah. Oh man, this is
I'm here for one
yeah,
reason
and
to challenge you for a World Wrestling Federation
yeah.
Championship match at WrestleMania.
As a,
Wow.
and as a kid, seeing all of this, I mean, these guys were larger than life, you
Yes.
know.
And Andre,
And
the
yeah,
whole
you didn't
undefeated for
know,
15
right?
years.
You didn't know if Hogan could actually beat him. Like as a kid watching this, you're kind of scared for Hogan. You're like, I don't know.
I'm like, he's done.
Yeah,
Andre's getting the belt.
right. You didn't know if he could actually, if Hogan could actually beat him.
And then when you watch the match and he goes for the slam for the first time, you think the
He falls
match
on him,
could have
almost
been
wins.
over.
Yeah, Andre almost wins. Yeah,
Yes.
like 2.5.
And I bet Vince is in the back going, "Oh, thank God it didn't end right there."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Could you imagine? But
I hyped this all up for a 3-minute match.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then, of
But
course,
and
the
this,
whole story going that Andre had the final say.
I don't believe that for 1 second. I'm gonna keep saying that. I don't believe it for 1 second.
Have you watched the Andre documentary
I
that's
watched
on
it.
Max?
I watched it. I don't believe it.
And I
I don't believe
know.
it. I don't
Is
believe
it
it.
possible they gave him the respect?
No.
And
No,
okay,
I think Andre. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong. I think Andre was just kind of messing with him, because Andre was known to like mess with the guys, and I think Andre was kind of messing with him, like to have the doubt in Hogan's mind, like make him nervous, like, oh, is this guy gonna put me over, or not? But
every time they tried to talk to him,
either,
he's in the back playing poker
right,
with
yeah.
Tim White. Get out!
I mean, either way,
I
Hogan
would
writing
like to
out the whole
think that
match allegedly. I don't want to get into because we're gonna go down the Hogan bashing rabbit hole.
no bashing,
But
no bashing.
right, so but for this
Phrasing,
story,
phrasing.
this match was tremendous. The slam, I mean, the slam was unbelievable at the time, even though Andre had
Awesome.
been slammed before. But as far as
Oh,
during
that
this time,
never
it
happened.
never happened.
Yeah,
But
it was great. It
when
was
he
awesome.
slammed
I
him
loved
and
it.
Jesse Ventura on commentary, I mean, it was just tremendous. Hogan prevails, obviously.
Yep.
Um,
Andre
Incredible.
then took a hiatus after this, shows back up in
hmm
Survivor Series. But this was just an amazing match that the fans got to see. And again, you can argue that number one and number two can
Yeah,
flip flop.
it's
Me personally, I think this is number one.
just because historically, what it
Yes.
means to historically, we got to put it number one. Although number two, you could put number two Warrior in there.
Just like with Warrior, you can make the argument that Warrior's number one match is against Hogan, or I'll make the argument that
Well, we
says
did.
not,
We said it was
that
Macho
the
Man.
Randy Savage match. Yeah,
When we did our list, we put it
the
at
career
number
ending
one.
match.
Yeah. So
So I mean, there's always you can always make an argument for
mhm.
it. I mean, everybody's got their opinion as far as what they think their number one match is. I would love to hear what people's number one match with Hogan that you think it is. And please don't say against Randy Orton at SummerSlam '06 because a friend of mine did tell me that jokingly. And I was like,
No,
don't, no,
no,
don't.
I don't think so. I don't know.
No
Uh,
bad Hogan matches. No Mr. America.
oh Jesus Christ! All right, well, that's our list. You guys, let us know if any of your favorite matches that we didn't mention or memories
Yeah, if we missed one,
yeah,
actually.
or match, or I'm sure you can only fit so many, but yeah, mention.
Exactly.
Let us know what you think. So we'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Bye.